after roughly 4 years.
A little over 4 years.
A little over 4 years. Working hard, taking our time, being patient, and we had to make some sacrifices too.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't always get to do the things that maybe we wanted to do, but it helped us get to this day today. We're about to pay the car off.
We're paying off the car.
We are making the final payment on this vehicle that we're sitting in right now, and it is a blessing.
2 years earlier than expected.
2 years earlier than expected. 2 years earlier than expected. The Lord Jesus just provided the way for us to be able to do this at this time and in this stage in our life. And I didn't think that it would be possible this soon for us to be able to get one more debt out of the way. And we're in our 20s. Perfectly, we're going to be able to be debt-free by our 30s.
Yeah.
And this really put us on track and ahead of schedule much faster than we thought.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. So right now, we're sitting in a Honda HR-V. 2016. Man, do you remember when you first got it?
Yeah. It was the end of 2019.
End of 2019, yeah.
So a lot of places like to get rid of their inventory by the end of the year.
That's true.
And I was driving this in 1998 Mitsubishi Mirage.
Yes.
And we changed the alternator on it.
We did.
And we did a good job, and it actually worked. But it was too new of a part for how old the car was.
Mm-hmm.
And so the car actually blew up in the mechanic shop. And that was funny.
But
the mechanic said it wasn't my fault. It was just too new of a part. But either way, the car was done for.
Yes.
So I needed a car, and it was perfectly timed with holiday break at my job.
That's right.
So I had all those days to search and look for a car.
Right.
And I was looking, and I really, really wanted that Jeep Renegade.
You did want the Jeep Renegade.
We were looking at.
Yeah.
And I was trying to force that to happen, and that was just way too expensive. And then I was finally like, well, my mom drives a Honda. Everybody drives a Honda. Let's see what Honda HR-Vs are out there.
Yeah.
And so I was looking. I didn't find anything for a few days, and then randomly on this random car website, I found a 2016 Honda HR-V with like barely any miles on it.
Yeah.
For a very, very reasonable price, and it was so bizarre because no other car was going for that price.
Right.
And I just went ahead and called them, and they were like, yeah, we still have it. And it was sitting at a Subaru dealership.
Yeah.
And they were really just trying to get rid of that car.
They were.
And so I called them and set up a time to see the car. They drove the car to me.
They did.
To test drive it.
That
I didn't have to go to the dealership at all for anything.
Nope.
And I sat in it, drove it, and it was so amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I was like, well, let's see what I can get financed for at the bank. And I was able to get approved for a really great loan for a really great interest rate. And yeah, they even gave me money for the car that blew up.
They did.
Yep.
They did give you some cash.
$100
Yeah, they did.
for that
Yeah,
car,
they did.
which was so surprising because it blew up.
Right. I don't even know how that works, but I'm happy that they gave you a little something.
Yeah, and I was negotiating too. I was like, what else? And they took off like another $1,000 or $2 off.
Yeah.
And I had some money saved up for like a small down payment.
Yeah.
And then they were telling me in the midst of negotiations that one person called right after I called to check on the car.
Right.
And because of how they do business, they gave me priority, so they didn't even entertain the second person until I had made a confirmed decision.
See, that's nice right there.
And then I said, yeah, I'll buy it.
And that was good because you don't even like dealership experiences.
I hate dealerships, and I really didn't want to deal with that.
Right.
So I was looking at places like Carvana where they like drove the car to you.
Right.
And that didn't work out. But the fact that I still got that same experience with a regular dealership was great, and I didn't even have to go in or anything except to sign paperwork and get the car, and that was it.
Man, I remember that day when you called me. You had the picture. You were standing next to had both the cars side by side photo. Oh man, I really like looking at that picture because it was just you know, it took a long time for you to get to that point, you know.
My starter car was not a luxury car.
Right, and that's okay. And that's all right, you know, because it got you through what you needed to get through.
It had the crank windows.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. And that was amazing. And the fact that the Lord provided you with a vehicle, because you had to get back to work in D.C. at that time, and you needed a car for the time, and it really worked out for you to be able to get there.
And the timing was just perfect.
Right.
I had a few days not having to go to work to find a car, and I found a car. It was great timing for the year where they were just trying to get rid of it. It's not a Subaru, so they were just willing to go down on the price a little.
Exactly. So that was really, that's.
But I had to let go of some of the bells and whistles that I thought I wanted / needed in a car.
That's true.
And just really make a good solid list of my non-negotiables. Like I really wanted a dark color car. I wanted dark interior.
Yeah.
I wanted cloth seats because I do not like leather seats.
Right.
I wanted mechanical windows, even though that's the standard.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to connect my phone.
Yeah.
So that was all of my like non-negotiables. And I wanted space because I knew this was going to be a family car.
Right, family car. We're going to be in it for years, really.
And I wanted a brand that was going to last.
Yeah, and Honda definitely has a proven track record of that for sure. So this really worked out. This really worked out for you at that time. And once we got married, we really set up a plan that we wanted to be able to be.
And we got married just a year after I got the car.
Just a year after you got the car. That's true. And we wanted to be able to set that plan up for our family and our future to be able to be debt free. Exactly. And some of those sacrifices we had to make in order to get here, it was difficult because we didn't get to go as many places as we wanted to go. We weren't able to travel to as many places as we wanted to travel to. We still got to go some places, but we didn't get to do all the things that we wanted to do all the time. We didn't get to buy all the things that we wanted to buy all the time, and that's hard sometimes. Just going to the store, buying groceries, getting your necessities. And then you come home most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, and then every now and then we might.
Yeah, we would go out to like dinner or something.
Yeah. But... I mean, well, we did do Friday date night for sure. But I mean, in regards to like, frivolous spending, like, just going to buy a Louis Vuitton new jacket, a couple new pairs of, Louis Vuitton pants. I don't even wear Louis Vuitton, but like, I didn't have that option during that time, even if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? So we made those sacrifices. Another sacrifice we had to make was
we moved.
We moved. Yeah, we lived in Northern Virginia, Alexandria, and for that time, it worked for us.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible spot for that time. Mm-hmm. We had a place to start off in, and it was really beautiful. And now it was rough around the edges for sure, rough around the edges in that apartment that we lived in, but it got us through. And during that time, my car also started to get on its last legs.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to sell my car as well. It was an Acura TSX from 2005. And I kept having to take it to the shop really often. And they weren't able to put in a fix that was able to keep it going without me having to come back. Unless I was going to need to pay... The last time I got it repaired before selling it, I think it was around $500 to $600 to get whatever parts I need fixed on it. I believe it was electrical. And got it done, got new battery in it, got new different tech things that I needed. And it still ended up not starting how it should have. Mm-hmm. And it left me stranded in a parking lot somewhere in Northern Virginia. And that was rough. So I realized that, hey, it's time. I'm paying the insurance on this car. The car was paid off, but I didn't want to have to put in the amount of money needed to really fix it. And so we went ahead and I sold it.
Yeah, it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it at the time. So that means we went down to a one-car family household, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
One car.
Yeah, we had a one-car household. That's what we got right now. And I was nervous about that. I was so nervous about that. Because
what if there's an emergency or any of that?
What if there's somewhere I gotta go, somewhere you gotta go, something comes up, and I was really reluctant to sell it at that time. But the Lord really provided for us there. And every instance that we've had since then, those fears that I had never came to fruition. There was never a moment.
Nothing ever happened where we absolutely needed a second car.
Right. And for our lifestyle right now, it works. I work from home, and it's been great, and we've been able to save money, and we only needed this one car, and that has been beautiful, and I'm just so grateful.
Any bulk money that we got, any like extra checks, it was always like an extra payment to like a student loan or the car.
And man, that put us 2 years ahead of schedule. So today, I'm just so excited to say that we're just people. We're not out there trying to do anything wild. We're not making $1 million a year. We work hard, and we ask the Lord for help, and He's given us opportunities to be able to provide for our family and provide for all of our needs have been met. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. All of our needs have been met.
But I think you just have to be willing to compromise on some of those extra things that you think that you want or need.
Yeah.
And really get down to what really are your non-negotiables and what are the things that you really do not want to compromise on.
Right.
And look at your list and see like what isn't that much of a priority.
Right.
Because you don't need all the fancy things.
Yeah.
If the goal really is to just get out of debt.
Yeah.
So.
That's it. Man, so I'm so excited today. We're going to remember this day. And when we're looking back in our 40s.
Because I didn't think I was going to be able to pay off this car like this.
I know, right? Man, we really worked together to do that. That was some great teamwork.
It was great teamwork.
Man. So, let's go.
Gonna pick up the car.
Let's go. So all right, here we go. Okay, after.
We're here.
After.
What are you doing today?
I was gonna.
What are you trying to say? Are you trying to script something?
And I'm just trying to hit like that where I'm gonna start the video.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're about to start the video. Okay, we're going live.